So what up, gamers? You know who it is. As you guys know, I am a big fan of first-person shooters. FPS games have been a big part of my life for some years now. And I'm no game designer. But if I had to design my perfect FPS game, these are just some of the things that I would have, or that I would have to have in my game. And as you guys know, I collect them. I have several of them. In fact, I have pretty much every first-person shooter that's out right now on the next-gen consoles. And I'm going to share with you guys my thoughts on what I would create as, you know, borderline my perfect first-person shooter. So number one, they would have to have Killzone's graphics. Graphics keep you wanting to play more because in a lot of ways, visuals validate the experience. When I see unbelievable graphics, I can't help to want to play more. To me, Killzone has the best visuals so far for a next generation console. And when I say graphics, I'm not talking about resolution or frame rate. I'm talking about polygons, texturing, color palette, saturation, detail, and the overall atmosphere of the environment around you. Although true 1080p and a minimum of 60 frames per second should be the standard right now. Even though Killzone felt really generic this time around in terms of what they offer as a first-person shooter, it stands alone next to no one in terms of the visual. My perfect FPS game would have to have Call of Duty's lobby system and the reward system. Of all the available shooters out today, Call of Duty is the best at keeping you into the fight. I just have to believe that that's one of the main reasons we love this series so much. You pick a mode, you're almost immediately thrown into a match. Their tradition of keeping you into the fight even extends over into the gameplay as well, because once you're killed, you have the option to immediately rejoin the battle, respawn instantly. Their lobby system is one that a lot of games could borrow from. You can invite friends to private matches. You can view and compare stats, or even join forces by squatting up for some online gameplay, pretty seamlessly. Where Titanfall has horrendous load times and where the squat up feature is non-existent in Battlefield 4 or Killzone, Call of Duty really shines in that department. You also can't forget COD's reward system. You're constantly playing for unlocks and customization and various other rewards even in-game that further enhance the gaming experience and prolong the longevity of the online multiplayer. I would also have to have Blacklight Retribution's customization and Halo's Forge. We live in a society today where customization is the focal point for consumer products. Consumers are more willing to buy things if they feel they can modify the product specifically for them. I never forgot the videos I did early on my channel, on my career on YouTube, where I talked about a lack of black characters in video games. I like the idea of customizing my own character, my guns, heck, even my own maps like in the Halo series. Blacklight Retribution has a tremendous amount of customization in their shooter. There is a billion ways to craft a gun, hundreds of ways to design your own character models, and all of this enhances and prolongs the gaming experience. And one major thing I would have to have is Titanfall's player movement. I personally consider Titanfall a must-play, but not a must-buy. Simply because this game is obviously not finished. This game is currently lacking in so many areas, it leads me to believe that the game was rushed to sell Xbox Ones. If you don't believe me, check out my review of the game. However, if there is one thing this game destroys every other shooter in, is in its player movement. Even though the parkour aspects of this game have been seen in other games such as Brink or Mirror's Edge and future games to come, it's also become the norm for most third-person titles such as Assassin's Creed or Infamous. No game has done it as perfect as Respawn has for their first-person shooter Titanfall. You can traverse the environment better than any FPS game available, and that style of movement and gameplay is very, very addicting. The latest Killzone and Call of Duty games have nice climbing features, but Battlefield 4 and Blacklight Retribution, in my opinion, are lacking in those areas. Now, I know if you make a shooter, it's all about map design, and it's up to the developers to work around the capabilities of their game. But the overall player movement that Titanfall allows is unforgettable and absolutely craved when playing other shooters. And one other thing that I would love to see in my perfect first-person shooter would be Battlefield's destructible environments and weather effects. Hands down, Battlefield 4 is almost a complete package when it comes to everything that we're looking for in a first-person shooter this generation, in my opinion. But the thing that stands out the most about Battlefield is their environments, the atmosphere, and the destructibility, and especially delivering on that next-gen experience in terms of the weather effects and just the overall environment. They do it better than anyone else, and I would have to have that in my perfect first-person shooter. There are other things that my perfect first-person shooter game would have to take into consideration, such as a reduction in lag, dedicated servers, spot-on hit detection, a solid melee system with multiple assassination kill animations, an even playing field, which means no cheesy gun attachments, death or kill streaks, and cheesy perks that promote bad gameplay. And I'm sure there's quite a few things that I missed, that I may have forgotten, because I'm only one person. You guys have your own feelings that I would hope can be expressed in the comments below. So these are my thoughts on what a perfect first-person shooter would look like or sort of have in its game. Definitely express your opinions in the comments, and once again, I'm extremely grateful for you guys watching the videos. Thanks for coming through and watching and clicking the like tab if you like the video. As always, I'll holla at you dudes later.